Without question, what Denny Hamlin did last season not only got our attention, but proved he and the 11 team are truly championship caliber. Hello, everyone. Welcome to NASCAR Now. I'm Mike Massaro. Derailing the 48 team, though, as we all know, is easier said than done. However, to even be mentioned in the same conversation with Jimmy Johnson is a pure sign of respect. And we have nothing but respect for Denny Hamlin. He now joins us live from the Joe Gibbs Racing shops. And Denny, thank you for being with us. How would you describe the way last year ended?
Well, it was a career year for our FedEx team, that's for sure, and myself. But you know, it was a bittersweet year. Obviously, we had a lot to be proud of last year with all the accomplishments that our team was able to accomplish. But you know, to come that close and at the end was definitely, it was hard to swallow. But you know, there were a lot of teams that didn't even have a shot to win the championship going into the last race this season, and luckily we were one of the 3 teams that were, and we just came up short.
You know, there's a philosophy out there. Some say to win a championship, you must first lose one. What did you take from the experience last year that might make you stronger this season?
Well, it's just all about execution. I mean, for me, there's, you know, a lot of things I learned from this year's chase. You know, I applied to this year's chase the things that I've learned over the last 4 years previous. And really, I felt like we were ready to win a championship in 2010. But unfortunately, lady luck and circumstances and execution didn't all come together during that last race and last, you know, 5 races, 6 races. So there were many instances in which I definitely felt like we could and should have closed out the championship before we even got to Homestead, but we didn't. And you know, like I said, that's going to make us tougher. I firmly believe that as competitive as I am in all aspects of sports, it's going to make me tougher for sure.
You know, and I know one of those incidents that you're referring to where you thought you could close out the championship had to be the disappointment in Phoenix. With the way the year ended, what effect did that have on the relationship between you and your crew chief, Mike Ford?
Well, I mean, we have an understanding. Me and Mike, we never really cut each other a whole lot of slack, but that's what we need to be better. I constantly am telling him, you know, behind closed doors, the things that I feel like he would improve on, and he's coming back and he tells me those same things that I need to improve on, and that's what makes our team so strong between me and Mike. And we have just a huge mutual respect for each other. We've come a long way together in these last 5 years, and that's why you see us really on the list of driver-crew chief relationships that's been around as long as they have.
You reference these things you talk about behind closed doors. What are these things you still need, in your opinion, to be better this year and win the championship?
Well, I feel like every year I've been better than I was the previous season, and I feel like 2011 will be no different. I made some mistakes throughout the chase. I was a little bit complacent at times early in the chase, just being conservative. Yeah, it gave me a great shot to win the championship in the end. However, we gave up a few spots here and there on restarts because I wasn't quite aggressive enough. So maybe turn that around. I'd do that maybe a little differently. But really, for me, qualifying, I've really got to work on that. As hard as it is to pass, you know, with all the teams being so competitive, I've got to get our car starting up front a little bit more often.
All right. First step to winning the championship, though, comes at Daytona. And I know you guys over at Joe Gibbs Racing hit a bit of a snag last week, a fire in the shop. How'd that affect preparations?
I think it's pretty much business as usual. It was isolated to just a couple engines, I believe, and none of them were actually engines that were going to go in our cars. So, you know, for us, it's you know, it's really business as usual. But obviously, it can get guys sidetracked at times, especially the engine department. This is probably their busiest time during the course of the year. So, you know, luckily for us, no one was hurt, and you know, it was a blessing for us.